Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. We are going to get ready to add Eric to the conversation. Hello.
Hey,
Good morning.
good morning.
Ready for an early conversation?
Yeah, it's good. You guys motivated me to get out of bed. I had a decent time today.
Okay, so you're gonna get started early?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited.
Yes. Yes, me too. When I saw your name pop up on the list of folks we were interviewing, I said, "Can I do that one? Can I do that one?"
Really?
Um,
Oh, that's so cool.
for those of you out there who may not know, my name is Asohe Galbraith, and I serve as the board treasurer for Adama. I am one of the founding members of the board, so been on the board since 2019, and very excited about all of the wonderful work Adama is doing. And if you're just excited, please feel free to donate to our cause. We appreciate any and all support. And Adama is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so your donations are tax deductible. With that, Eric, let's just jump right in. What do you have going on today? What are you excited about being up and getting ready to do today?
I have one thing on my list. I have this painting in my studio that I started the beginning of the week, and I had this great start. And then the week caught like just distractions, and good ones, And
Mhm.
hey, after this, I'm gonna get coffee and like a breakfast sandwich of some sort. Go to my studio. I'm not picking up the phone. I gotta put in some work.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Do
for
you, do
today.
you, do you create deadlines for yourself when you're working on projects?
A lot of my projects come with deadlines.
Okay,
My personal work, I don't put deadlines. No.
okay, okay. So I guess I was really interested. So we know each other a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But to actually do some research to get ready for the conversation, I found out a whole bunch I didn't know.
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind giving us your introduction, your 30-second elevator pitch or spiel about who you are.
Cool. Yeah. Eric Nine. I am an artist here in Atlanta. I paint on everything. I paint everything, but lately I'm doing murals mostly. And and I love life, and I want to give that energy back through my art.
Love the energy of your artwork. We were blessed with one of your murals in Castleberry. Absolutely loved driving by and walking by it all the time. Um, Puerto Rican background. Are both of your parents Puerto Rican?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm New
okay.
Yorican. They're from the
New
island,
Eureka.
but
New
I was
Eureka.
born, yeah, in New York before some like real Puerto Rican comes and starts trying to talk Spanish to me. I mean, yo puedo hablar, pero necesito practicar, ¿sabes?
Okay,
I
okay.
can understand it. I stumble a little bit when I try to talk it.
Okay. How was the culture infused into your home?
Uh, I mean, it's family is deep, you know. I have, with no exaggeration, probably we counted one time. It was over 20 nieces and nephews, and so we just I don't know. Family is super important in our culture, and so it's just really everything's built around that, um, and it's a big motivation for me too. I have two little boys, so
How old are they?
they are 15 and 13.
Do either of them take after your wonderful artistry, talents, and skills?
Yeah, they do, but in their own way. Like one is a storyteller more so, and he writes stories. He'll do illustrations with them, but I could tell he's more into the character development and all that. And then my youngest, he just calls himself a builder, and I think he has like architectural uh potential. you
Okay.
know. Yeah.
That's what's up. Love architecture. So born and raised in New York, right?
I was raised really in Florida. I went to like elementary, junior high, and high school in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time in Florida, Central Florida, Winter Haven, Orlando, a little bit of time in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. When did you move from Florida?
I left Florida. Funny side story. In 1999, I left Florida and came to Atlanta for the first time and
Okay.
tried to and came here, moved here for a year. And it was one of the funnest times of my life. I
Okay.
It was great. Um, but I ended up like homeless for a little bit. So it was like an adventure. It was just
Hmm.
me and one of my best friends, Scott, that I'm still close with, and he lives here still now. But
Awesome.
but I tried in 1999. It didn't work out. I went up to Boston for like 4 years and came back here in '04, and I've been here since '04. So I mean, this is home now. You yeah.
That. So what took you to Boston? Like, why Boston?
I actually went up there to go to school for
Okay.
like graphic design. I was convinced that I just didn't want to be a starving artist. I hated that phrase, you know? So I was convinced like getting into graphic design might be a safer route for my creativity or whatever. But when I got up there, I got a job at an ad agency. And since I was paying for my own school, I quit school and just, I was like, well, I'm already here.
Hmm.
And I really like went in at that job and it was good. It was a good experience. I worked my way from like, I just to get in, I was a buying assistant, like buying TV and radio ads and like internet stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but I worked my way to the creative side, and I got to draw like a storyboard for Royal Caribbean and McDonald commercials and stuff like that. But when people try to say that there's some sort of like job security in corporate America, that's a lie. That's cutthroat. It's more cutthroat in corporate than on the streets. Like, so that company got merged to another company, got bought out, and in the mix, they let me go, but they gave me a nice severance package.
Okay.
I took that money to come back to Atlanta. And at this point, my friend Scott, who I had left in
Uh-huh.
1999, so we were it's this whole I can make this whole interview about those, but basically from us going homeless, we worked our way into an apartment actually in Buckhead, and I left, and then he actually worked his way into assisting and engineering, and he was at this recording studio called Zax right next to Stankonia.
Okay.
This is 2004, and this is like when you know what's going on, like
Yeah.
Outkast and all this, you know. So he's like, "Man, we're doing it over here. You should just come back to Atlanta." And so I went to Atlanta actually to write and record rhymes and stuff. So like 2004,
Wow.
2005, all I did was music. We were just in the apartment recording and writing. It was so much fun, man. I want to relive those days. It was so much fun.
Do
But
you and
it
Scott
gets to
work
the
on
point.
any projects currently together? Do you guys ever get the opportunity to work on stuff?
Scott got Grammys now, like engineer, like a lot of like big projects.
What's up?
But we got some music floating around. You can find us on Spotify. If
I'm
I
gonna
got
look for it. I'm gonna look
yeah,
for it.
I might I'll put up a I'll put up a link after this.
Yes.
I
Yeah. Like remind us. Remind us.
but yeah, it just got to a point. I was having so much fun but making no money, and I was like, I had to be realistic with myself. I'm like, look, man, you know, it's not like you're really gonna just I needed to be successful. It's just this I have this passion for being productive. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so I was like, I think it's just smarter for me to go back to the art. And not to mention, man, Atlanta is like, you cannot be here as an artist or anybody that is visually inclined or just like creative self expression. You can't be in the city without tapping in because there's so many things going on and so many opportunities for people to get involved, you know? So,
No, I moved here I think in '03,
okay.
and my background is engineering and logistics, and you know what I do today. So
Yeah, exactly.
it drew me in a way that was completely unexpected.
Right. But it's a beautiful thing, you know. And in '04, I have to say, that was the year that Art Beats and Lyrics was in the High Museum. Did you go to that?
I didn't go, but
You were here?
I've
Yeah.
since read about it, know about it, followed the
Yeah.
story for sure.
So if you imagine me coming back to Atlanta and seeing Art Beats and Lyrics in the High Museum, you know, I was like, wow, this is like my type of art, but I'm in a museum, like a highbrow museum showing some street level art. And yeah, I kind of like it. That was a pivotal moment in the back of my head where I was like, dang, I'm okay, this is it. I'm in the right place finally, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
What you mentioned, like you felt the need to be productive, to be successful.
Yeah.
What gave you the confidence to believe you could be both of those things in visual art, and you didn't feel the same way with your writing, rhyming career?
Um, because even when I was, you know, doing the music, I was still doing art. I was already doing like mixtape covers, and I had got this uh I worked at a company called Mark Star Graphics for like about I interned for 3 months. They hired me for 3 months. And this is like a little bit later in like 2006. And so it was it that I mentioned that job particularly because it showed me like a hustle that I could do. And then they hired me for a little while, but they weren't paying very much, so I quit and just did independent graphic design. Um, and it's just like I could see what they were doing. I saw what they were making, and I saw what they were paying me. And I was like, man, I could do half the work and make twice the amount of money. And really,
Mm-hmm.
again, I gotta give it to Atlanta. I almost feel like anybody with, you know, talent, but even more so hustle,
Yes.
make something in the city, you know? So,
Yeah.
it was a combination of knowing I could do it, but also seeing that I see the lane, like it's right there for me to take it. That kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no. Atlanta is very special in that way. I remember when I moved here without a job. And after being here, I was like, if I can't make it here, I can't make it anywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so definitely understand. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit, right?
Okay.
Twisted Circus. We came to your solo show at Notch 8 and fell in love with the concepts,
Yeah.
everything about it. Um, Tell us like how it even came to be.
You know, like a lot of good art, it started out of tragedy. Like I was going through some really like hard stuff and I was trying to start painting again and then it was a lot of depressing stuff and I just kept on feeling at that time, man, my life's so twisted. Or I would be like it's like a circus or whatever. And then I kind of started that series as a therapy type thing for me. You know, like
Yeah.
I didn't want to like paint paintings of me with my feelings all hurt. So I would made these characters to kind of tell these stories for me. But you know, the beautiful thing is that with time, you learn your lessons, you heal, you come back stronger. And my attitude and everything recovered, I feel, you know, and I feel like the art also did that. And so when I was like back on my feet, ready to like, okay, I'm about to like do something again, I was I wanted to just do something different. I was so bored of like art shows. And even still today, I say it like art shows are boring, man. Like you have unless you have like just the right artist, you know, um it's usually like you go in, you get your beer or your wine and your cheese and you walk around and the music is, you know, so you can have a conversation and all that. Um, so I wanted to do something different, but still make it where people were like, the art was the focus, and I was still selling paintings. So I included a performance aspect. And that's where kind of I was like, well, look, I can make it, call it a circus,
Mhm.
Twisted Circus, and you know, and I was already working with that title in my head, And I was like, well, I could just go with that and bring that to life. And that's kind of where it started. And I did a handful of pop-ups and then led to that solo show, the one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like just a little bit to go a little bit deeper, and I can show you guys like right here. Like so, the two main characters, right, is the elephant and the ballerina. So basically, the way it started, the elephant was all my feelings, and the ballerina was my relationships. And I would just take all my paintings and like put my paintings through that filter. But now the two characters have a life of their own. You know, now there's like a younger version of them that's more vibrant and innocent, and then there's a older version that you know is a lot more grown. I don't know if you can see the toys.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the ballerina. This is her grown up. She got like band-aids and scars. She got a gun behind her. And then
Wow.
the elephant back there. I don't know if you can see it, but the elephant back there, I took his tusk out and put two joints in it. And it's just, you know, a continuing like it's a fun way for me just to tell my story through these two like fun characters.
So it sounds, and I think I read that for you, your art is like storytelling, right? Like pages of a book.
Yeah.
Is there a book in the works? Is there something we can expect in more
Oh,
narrative form?
don't, man, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, okay,
No,
okay.
definitely a long term, or the sooner the better. But it's definitely a goal of mine. I have fragments of a story, you know, like little parts. I actually recently I've been thinking maybe I don't need to like flesh out the whole story in detail. Maybe I just need fragments and let the reader could fill it in. You know,
Yes, yes.
you know. So yeah, I got some plans with that. I think the first thing that people will start seeing is like on my social media posts, will see like I'm gonna start throwing up like little newspaper style comics, you know,
Okay.
little situations, little things that might encourage you, or like things that are going on. Like I said, I can use these characters to comment on anything I want. So you know, that's kind of where my head is at with that.
No, I love it. I love it. And it feels like we've been watching a bit of a story unfold and making up our own narrative with the
Yeah.
artwork for years. Like I already feel like I got the beginnings of what is the story in my own head.
Yeah.
So
You don't want to mess it up for people, you know. I'm just gonna do my little things, but you know, isn't that fun? That's like sometimes when you don't know the lyrics of a song, so you make up your own, and then you find out the lyrics better. You know, like, I'm just
my my 5-year-old niece, the what was it, the Drake, you know, girls want girls or whatever. And
gonna,
she's in the back seat saying girls want pearls, girls want pearls. It was everything. But
that's
I
awesome.
was like, you know what? But
She's
similarly, I've enjoyed the visual, but now hearing about some of your past successes as an MC and storyteller in written form, I would love to
yeah,
see some of that. Would love
yeah.
to.
It's funny. I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, I was telling stories back then too.
Yeah, I read that you went to a performing arts school.
Yeah.
How has that informed your practice?
So that was my high school. It was a magnet school for visual and performing arts. So I was obviously doing the visual stuff, just drawing and painting. That was probably like the only real training I had, like as far as painting. But it was a great school. I learned so much there, even though it was that young. But it was a magnet school that was like an hour away from where I lived. And so I had to wait 45 minutes after school every day for this special bus to come get me and take me all the way back to my side of town. And so I would wait in the theater and watch the dancers, and I would sketch and watch the dancers. And there was it wasn't even like a ballet. It was one of the performances that had ballerinas in it. And I remember like I think that was the first time that I was like really like probably the first time I drew a ballerina, and just watching them, I would kind of be jealous because they could go up there and like they just go up there and cry and go up there and do a cartwheel and just like all this stuff in front of like all these people, and it's nothing to them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just like really like that energy and self-expression. And I don't know, I was fortunate to have early roots and just understanding. It's like it's not like um how you say it, it's like what you're saying.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
it's like you can do it through dance, through music, through art, through writing a book. But it's more important like what are you saying, and how you know keep it human, or how you like connect, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Did you
I wasn't performing. I was just watching them and drawing them. Yeah.
but I feel like more recently you did an iteration of Twisted Soul on a rooftop. Did you take on a bit of a character performance there?
Yeah, we did. It was last year, last October.
Mm-hmm.
I had a show at oh man, the Atrium.
The
Oh,
atrium.
yes, exactly. And so they actually hired me to paint their stairwell. So I painted this whole like flower stairwell entry, and we were kind of like talking about making this like this entrance into this other, you know, rooftop dimension and stuff. And then in the process of me painting that, I'm like, man, these walls look good. You know what? They need some of my art on them, and it just like I should just do that. So I took the top, and we had performances. We had a diamond ballerina. It was like this ballerina that was covered like head to toe
Wow.
with glass. So she was
Mm-hmm.
reflecting. I don't. We had like maybe like 4 or 5 performances upstairs. I had my art in the stairwell, and it was a great time. I mean, I would do it again. I would have done it a few times again. It's just I've been so busy with the murals, and I haven't really. It hasn't just lined up yet.
Yeah. You taught. I love your murals. I love your murals all around the city. I love seeing them. Really excited about the column.
Say it again. It cut. It
Is
cut
that
for.
Cabbagetown? Oh, I'm sorry. The columns. The columns in is that in Cabbagetown? The 54 columns.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, all the mural projects, all of the deadlines and things that you were kind of talking about that may take you away from some of your passion projects and more personal projects. Like how does it feel? Like how do you try to balance it all?
Um, I'm just like fortunate, man. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm just like fortunate enough that even the mural projects, you know, there's only been a few that I haven't had final say in the design. And I've been able to include my elephant and ballerina in a lot of them. I have a new one actually. October, I'm doing a new one, and it's gonna be this. You know, I think it'll be my next best one. You know, but I got to put the elephant and ballerina in that, even though it was for a distributing company. Um,
What
so
area will that one be in?
my sense of direction sucks. I don't know the address, but
Okay,
yeah, keep following me. I'm gonna be posting the whole experience. So,
of course.
um, but uh, it's a cool balance. I'm not mad at the murals. I'll keep on. They're fun. They're they turn the city into my gallery, you know, and
Yes.
they pay very well. So I'm cool with that. By the time I
Okay.
do get to do another production, I'll probably have a little more I won't be so stressed over the money part as much. So, you know,
Okay.
maybe I can
Yeah.
even do better.
Um, do you see any collaborations with your sons in the near or present future?
Oh my God, I would love it. My oldest did help me come up with one version of how possibly the elephant and ballerina met. He came up with this dope idea that it should have been like it should be a talent show, and
Wow.
that's kind of how where they've had their first interaction, you know. So so that's special to me, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. I think so for sure.
That's what's up.
I honestly, man, my whole motivation is just to get myself at a place so when they're ready to do whatever they want to do, I can be there to like not only support them financially, but be plugged into the city. So like, oh, well, you need to know this person, or you know, try to help them along. You know, they actually live in Massachusetts now with their mother,
Okay.
So I'm down here setting it up. They're coming back. Like eventually, they're gonna want to come down to Atlanta. So I'm just down here setting it up.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Reminds me of so you'll be the LeBron of the Atlanta art world. You're gonna make happen what you want to happen.
exactly.
That
We
is
could put it
amazing.
like that.
How's the pandemic been for you? It's been tough for a lot of people, and it still feels like there's a lot of heaviness kind of in the air. Maybe it's just me, but how has the past couple years been for you in that respect? Especially going back to 2020 when stuff first shut down,
Yeah,
because I think your Twisted Circus performance
yeah,
was originally scheduled for a while back.
yeah. The like look, so 2020, 2019 Twisted Circus was like introduced and had a great year, and we had plans for the next year and kind of the momentum, and then the pandemic hit, the lockdown, and then like the protesting and everything. The whole world slows down. The whole world's like on reset. We're all like kind of reevaluating a lot of things. Kind of, I think people's priorities changed. I could say for me personally, it definitely was a life changing transitional period, I should say, where I learned probably the most valuable thing I learned personally as an artist is that I learned to get out of my own head. I learned that's where really the Twisted Circus characters came to life as something separate from me, because there was just like it was just so obvious how things weren't right, you know. So my art started to change. I started getting more active with the murals, and ever since then, like I used to like deal with depression really hard, but now that I know I can focus my energy on bigger problems than myself, it's not only like changed my life, but it's changed like the trajectory of my whole career. Like I don't think if that little slowdown, and and I know that it was so hard for a lot of people, but that really it was a good time for me personally to kind of become who I am today, and it's just so much good stuff. Looking back, so much good stuff has come from that. Um, that is, yeah, it's just I don't know how to explain it. I can only say my version of it, right?
No, I love it. I love that you are able and we're able to take something positive from it. And I think there's always something positive to be taken from any situation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's cool now watching things kind of the new normal and things kind of starting to happen again. And I don't know, but those lessons and I don't think anybody's gonna forget that, you know, like so. But
No.
I one of the big things is I got my own. Well, I've had a studio, but they've always been these small studios, no windows, but I got like a legit studio during that time, and that's definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things, and I think also it changes people's perspective on me. I've noticed like, oh yeah, come to the studio, and I actually have like an official spot. Um, so it's opened my mind to a lot of other things. So like I actually happy to announce that so since then I've moved to a larger spot, and
Congratulations.
I'm gonna open my own small little gallery storefront right there. Yeah. So me and some friends are putting it together, and I mean it could be as soon as well. The first thing we're gonna do is have a Halloween party. So so y'all keep following for that information. But we're definitely having a Halloween party. But I applied for a grant, and if I get it, which I think I will, I'm gonna have a fundraiser for Puerto Rico, like a drink and draw / art event there to try to raise awareness and money for that. And then I already talked to one of my favorite graffiti crews here in Atlanta. It's a small team of artists, and all three of them are just sick. And so I might host something for them there where they can, show their pieces, and I don't know, just keep adding on to the culture that already exists here.
We appreciate it. So I heard a couple of ways because my question is always how can we help you in what you're doing? But there's a fundraiser coming up, so we can definitely support in that way. You're opening up the new storefront space, so we can come out and support in that way.
Right.
We'll follow you on these social media channels. Is there anything else?
Like I think just support. Like I don't like Instagram, but I can't say that Instagram and Facebook haven't helped me. I just don't like how they're forcing people to play the game
Their way.
their way. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to spend the extra time trying to, play their game so I can remain relevant on this platform, right? So I would love to bring that to our creative community. How do we, battle that? How do we stay us, here in Atlanta? How do we stay relevant to each other
Mm-hmm.
and continue to not only know what's going on, but make like so we can go out and support, right? So
Yeah.
like my account got hacked a while back. I got it back, thank God, because I had put a lot of work into it. But that was kind of like a snap of reality. Like, man, I don't control this. This is like any day. All this work can just be gone. So I've just been dealing with that in my head a lot. And one solution I thought was to keep creating new things for people to kind of reasons for people to get actually involved physically, come out and
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. So like I don't know, man. I invest a lot of my time to just be involved and know what's going on in the city. Like like bonfire, like what you guys do. There's a handful of really good movements in the city, and I think just that like all of us is continuing to not turn into a verse thing, but I keep it like a community, how it
Yeah.
was in 2004.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when it
Wow.
was like it was, I don't know, it was just so easy and fun, like just to plug in
Yeah.
to like what was going on.
Yeah.
Um,
And anytime I ask like artists, especially artists who've been around and been relevant for a really long time, like how they've maintained, it's always just showing up for people in the same way you want people to show up for you.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, that would be the best advice I could give anybody, like you're trying to break into the art scene or any kind of scene. Like probably step one is to invest in that scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm playing around with these toys and stuff, but me and my friend Edmund probably gonna go to Complex Con, and it's just like, how can you break into an industry if you don't understand it or, uh, you know, you know, invest in it. So same thing, like why I started buying art. I want people to collect my art. I can't expect anybody buying my art if I'm not out making my own private collection. So
Hmm.
it's I'm a student of the universe.
Right. Yeah. No. An individual shameless plug. There was a piece of yours that we saw in your studio way back.
Which one?
Um,
I think I know which one you're talking about.
yes. Yes. And
Flowers, that I think it was like I think it was the one that me and Truth did maybe.
hmm
We
hmm
shot in a bathtub, and I did two versions. There was one where I had the white
Yes.
girl and
Yes.
the white like milk, so she's in a white background, and then I did the black girl in a black,
Yes.
so barely coming out of the light, and
Yeah.
flowers, and kind of did the thing. Yeah, I got to do that again. Those are fun, man.
So we need to get by your studio because we would love to add one of your pieces to the collection sooner than later. Sure.
Yes, I'm setting it up. Give me like I said, give me till October. Come to the party. It's gonna be
For
a
sure.
costume party.
For sure. For sure. You got me thinking because I never do costume parties, but you got me thinking
Uh,
like, okay,
yeah.
okay, 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 okay.
I've always had
Anything else you want to share with the audience before we hop off?
um. I talked about this that no, you know for the handful that are watching, I already know these probably are my regular supporters, and I love you guys. But for anybody else, like support means a lot, man. Like a comment, a like, a share, all that stuff. Like it actually does help. It actually does help. So, you know, continue to support, and you already know that I'm not going nowhere. I'm here for the long run. I'm trying to make change. I'm trying to build what this new Atlanta is going to be. So I think that's it.
Well, we were grateful for having you. Thank you for sharing so much, giving
Yeah.
us a little bit of your morning. Adama certainly appreciates you. So for all of the Eric Nine supporters who may not be familiar with Adama, please become more familiar. Follow us, check out our website. And for all of the Adama supporters who may, sorry, Adama supporters who may not be as familiar with Eric Nine, please follow him, show him the like, show him the love. And if you have the opportunity to attend any of his events, I do not believe you will at all be disappointed. So thank you all. Have a wonderful Friday. Get out here in these art streets and support our artists. Thank
Oh,
you.
and shout out for Hamu.
Definitely shout out to our fearless leader and founder, Dr. Fahamu Faku, the entire Adama team, Stephanie, who is serving as our interim village chief. So grateful for them continuing to do the work behind the scenes that make these conversations possible, and all of the things that we want to bring.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
All right, later.
Bye.